What up, internet world? It's your boy Jermaine, back with another video, back with another electric bike review video. And today we are going to review the HJM bike, and this is a pretty cool electric bike. Let's get up and get close. Let's check it out. So far I have about 335 miles on this bike, and this is a fat tire bike. This bike is a whole lot of fun to ride. This is what it looks like. I did not clean it up for the video. I just pulled it out just like it is. And I'll tell you, this backside looks very clean. It looks very clean. I mean, there's just a little bit of dust on it, but it's not a lot of grime. If I go look at some of my other bikes, you'll see like lots of grime and lots of dust. I would have to say, yo, this is a fun bike to ride. It's definitely not my everyday bike, just because it's more of a fat tire bike, and I'm trying to cycle, do deliveries, and go longer ranges. So I just have a different bike that I use as an everyday driver. But every now and then I will pull out this one when I'm going to certain places. Like if I'm going out to the Presidio, or if I'm going out to Golden Gate Park, like this bike is the one that's coming with me. And sometimes I'll even bring this bike and I'll bring an extra battery, because I have another bike that I can switch the batteries on the other bike and it'll work for this one. So that's really awesome, because this bike, I'm gonna keep it real, it doesn't get as good of range as some of the other bikes, just because it's a fat tire bike. And by the tires being fatter, you're just gonna use more energy, because like the tires are fatter. Like that's a much wider surface that that you got to cover on the tires. Other things about this bike that's pretty cool. Now this is very important, but this bike comes with these legit like holes here, and you can buy all sorts of mounts, right? And you can mount a really good heavy duty basket on the front, like for deliveries and stuff like that. You can get a really good basket, and it'll be attached to the frame, instead of an aftermarket one that's kind of attached a little bit differently. Maybe it'll attach to the wheels, or it'll attach by the handlebars or something like that. But yeah, this is a really big plus. It has a very large, beautiful LCD here. It comes on like so. It also has hazard lights. So when you're riding, you can have hazard lights on. It's got really nice Shimano components. They also, this is really smart, very smart, but they added this pad back here, because they already know that the chain is gonna bang up against the frame, and as soon as the chain bangs up against the frame, all the paint's gonna be gone from this area. So they put this pad here, so that way it'll protect it. So at least you won't have missing paint right here. You just got this pad here. Every now and then you might want to take it off and clean it up, that sort of thing. Okay, one problem I had with this bike, since we still got the hazard lights on here, this back part actually broke. Yeah, this part broke. Now I was able to fix it just with tape. Where it broke from this piece here is welded to this piece underneath, and the welding broke. Now I was able to use some of this painter's tape and hold it up, and it's held up pretty sturdy, actually, very sturdy. And I didn't even use that much tape. This tape is almost stronger than the metal that it came with. But this came undone. Now this came undone. I was off-roading out in the Presidio, and it got pretty crazy. It got pretty bumpy. I was going downhill, and all of a sudden I hit these I hit this area where there's a whole bunch of I think they're these little, those animals that go under the ground, and they make these holes, and they mess up the whole ground. Hit a patch of dirt like that at the bottom of a hill, in an area I probably should not have been going down in, and I noticed that when I got back on the regular sidewalk, I heard some dragging going on, and it was because this whole fender was touching the back wheel, and I was like dragging it. So I was able to just, you know, ride back home. I wasn't too far from home, so I was able to ride back home and just put some painter's tape on the not painter's tape, but this is actually some duct tape. It's just colored duct tape. Just use some duct tape, put it on the top. Okay, back over here, the seat. People always ask about the seat. The seat's alright. It's comfortable. I see in Facebook groups all the time, people always say things like, oh, where did you get your seat from? Or what kind of seat is that? Or your seat got shocks on it. Well, this one, like, I'm definitely not gonna put you know shocks on the seat. It's just something I'm not gonna do. I mean, maybe if I was, you know, an office chair, but a bike that you ride on the street, that, you know, that if you leave it on the street, it just makes it more of a target. If you got some fancy you know, seat shock, that's just something I wouldn't really do. But I mean, if maybe other people that would, you know, disagree and would want those sort of things. These tires, let's talk about these big wheels. Now, one thing about these bikes, these fat tire bikes, that are, it's just something I know, I don't think a lot of people know, but yo, these tires are really, really easy to get flats. It has nothing to do with the bike. It just has something to do with the tires, because this tire is just very wide versus a bike tire that's smaller, right? Smaller surface, less area to run over, less punctures, right? A bigger tire, you got more places where things can get punctured. For example, like, let's say you're riding over some bike glass. Well, if you got a fat tire bike, I mean, you got more places where the glass can enter versus if you have a smaller tire bike. Another thing about these tires, whenever you go ahead and do a bicycle repair, these tires are actually much easier to take off. I have another electric bike with fat tires, but the fat tires are a little bit smaller. I think this is 26. The other fat tires I have are 20s. Okay, so they're a little bit smaller, and holy moly, I have done a lot of repairs, you know, with that other bike, and it was just a nightmare to take the freaking wheel off the tire, you know. On this bike, I had a flat about a month ago. It was my first flat on this bike. I had it, I was like 2.5 miles away from home when I noticed it, and I just booked it, just kept on going home, right? I was rushing. I was like, oh crap. I even passed by a gas station, and I was thinking, yo, should I just like stop by and like pump up the tire? That actually would have been a really good idea if I would have did that, because I didn't. And I got maybe 5 minutes from home, and then I had to get off the bike and walk the rest. But that was okay, because I got back home pretty quick, and from there I was able to, you know, repair the flat. And I just took the wheel off. It was very simple, because I had quick release. I haven't updated these yet. I should probably update these to get rid of the quick release and put something a little bit more secure there, because quick release is not the best idea. I'm just gonna keep it real. All right, we're doing a complete 180 now. Now we're over here on this side of the bike, which is I thought I wanted to just show this side. We can talk about the brakes. This is the front brake here. I don't think I've replaced the front brakes at all, which is kind of impressive, which is very impressive. I like that. After 35 miles, I haven't replaced the front brakes. On the back side here, I think I replaced the back brakes once, which is pretty awesome. Now, for the most part, I use this bike for long distances. If I'm going maybe 4 or 5 miles, I'll take this bike, and if I'm going straight, and usually I take it on certain routes where, like, you don't have to stop that much. Every day on my regular delivery bike, it's just like stop and go. But with this bike, I like I say, I just ride it different. I don't necessarily just use it for deliveries, so it looks a little bit different, you know. I want to say I just get more, I go farther distance with this bike and like less stop and go. yeah, that's, I don't know if that makes any sense. The kickstand here is very sturdy. I decided to just stand the bike up against this wall so it wouldn't be leaning over for the review. But this kickstand is very sturdy. It you know, it's like reinforced and it doesn't move, or at least it hasn't started moving yet. After you know, use a bike, you put, you know, 2,000 miles on it, I would imagine something would probably get loose up in here, if it doesn't start to get loose from this connection here. But I think this is okay. This is a good looseness. But what will happen over time is it'll probably get looser and looser and looser and looser, which once again, it's not that bad because, you know, once the bike has got 2,000-3,000 miles on it, I mean, how much money have you saved, you know, by using it? So, you know, over time you will have to replace a few things, but it won't be as bad as, you know, replacing an engine on a car. And even if you need to replace the motor, these motors are not that hard to replace. I've actually replaced one. They're not that bad to replace. But anyway, guys, this is the HJM bike, and here we have it. It's a fun bike. It's a fun one to ride, and I like it. It's a fun one. It's really great for outdoors. It's really great for, well, I guess all bikes are great for outdoors, but it's great for off-roading because of the fat tires. And you know, another thing about these fat tires, it's kind of amazing how whenever I have a flat, like I'm going through and I'm looking, and the last time I had a flat, I pulled out a nail that was that long, and that's very common. It's very common to pull out long nails. I mean, especially riding around in San Francisco. I've pulled out nails out of fat tires like crazy. I remember once I did a fat tire repair on a tire, and I had 2 nails in it. I guess I ran over one nail and it was okay, which is crazy. And then I ran over the second nail, and then that's when I, you know, discovered it. And I was going through looking, and I was like, oh wow, here's the nail. And then I moved the wheel, and I'm looking back, and I'm like, oh crap, there's another one. So these fat tires are amazing. They can collect nails. If you're afraid of the whole, you know, fat tire and the nail situation, you can get tubes to go inside, like these tube thingies. So if you have a flat, you're still able to ride your bike. I don't know, those are kind of expensive. I think they're about $150, but then you have to take both wheels off and go through the whole work of taking this off and I don't want to do all that work. Maybe I'll like buy it, and then the next time I have a flat, I'll install one, and the next time I have a flat, I'll install the other one. But for the most part, this is, you know, one of those bikes I ride on the weekend. So if I, you know, have a flat, you know, it'll just suck, you know. Every now and then I'll take it on deliveries. Maybe I'll take it on deliveries tomorrow. Tonight I'm actually gonna go out and ride it. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Thanks a lot for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace out, yo. Also, there's links in the description for this bike if you guys want to get one. Check out the links in the description. Peace out.